Next up, we have offensive lineman Brandon Yates. Questions for Brandon?
Brandon, just start off, evaluation of the offensive line so far this season. How do you think you guys have done? And then you as well. Start with the line and then give me your thoughts on your play.
Yeah, I think our offensive line's looking pretty good right now. First game, we went out there and it was a tough environment. You know what I mean? Big environment. We still went out there and performed best of our ability. You know, we did what we needed to do. Week 2, Albany, we went out there. Albany's a pretty good team. You know what I mean? Anybody can look at what their programs are like and what their accolades are like. I mean, they put a lot of guys in good situations, and they got guys in the NFL. You know what I mean? Just like every other program in there, they do pretty well. You know what I mean? That's a pretty good defensive front and linebackers. You know, that's a pretty good team. And then Pitt, we went out there and we was physical. We was physically tough. We went out there and played extremely hard. You know, one guy I want to talk about is Nick Malone. He went out there. And we just look at the production numbers. He had 13 knockdowns, you know, and that's huge for a guy like him. That's huge. You know, that tackle would go out there and put 13 knockdowns on the board, you know. And then Wyatt had like 7. I had 8. Jaquay like 5. And Tomas like 4. So, like, we went out there and played really, really hard and got people on the ground and just played physical. And then when we needed on third downs, we was able to hold up and do what we needed to do, you know. And then that terrible holding call that cost us a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like we told Wiley, keep playing hard. Like that's nothing. We're gonna get it back, and we got it back eventually. So I think we played pretty well. For me, you know, first couple of snap situations. First time in a situation for me in that situation as a center. You know, and since then I haven't had any mistakes like that because, I mean, you got those reps under your belt, you know what I mean? You've seen it now, expectations now to get it fixed immediately right then and there, and I got it done. And I think every single game I've gotten better in the things I need to get better in, as in like just in his communication and just constantly keep being the same guy and consistency. That's a big thing I've been working on for years now, consistency and being the same guy every single snap. And I feel like this game, Pitt game, I wasn't perfect, but I feel like that's when I had the most well-rounded game so far, and we'll keep on going throughout the season.
Obviously, tough game last Saturday. What was your message? You're one of the older guys, one of the veterans, leaders. What did you tell the guys? The situation right now, I kind of think parallel back to like 2021, where we lost against Texas Tech, and it was what. We got tied down, like it was like 19-19, and he kicked a game-winning field goal, and that was like the third game, and then we was expected to win that game as well. That was like the third game of the season, I think, third, fourth game, and that was a turning point in that season because if I feel like if we would have won that game, it would have changed the season. But a lot of times after that game, I feel like we could have turned it around and fixed it. So right now, we had a leadership meeting yesterday. We really talked to each other, communicated to each other, and what we need to do from this point on. And I feel like we understood each other and we knew exactly what we needed to do from this point on. And I feel like we can get a lot of things fixed. You know, I mean, a lot of people are sitting here like, oh, they keep saying that, but I mean, we have our rosters top to bottom. We have a great roster. A lot of people would talk about the defense, but the offense, we could have put ourselves in a better situation to win that game as well. You know, it's easy to pick on the defense, but you know they played just as hard as us, and they played hard too. You know what I mean? I can't sit there and discredit how hard they work. I see how hard they work every single day. And I think they put in the work just as hard as we do, you know. And they're gonna get it fixed. Trust me, I know those guys. I've seen those guys how hard they work. They're gonna get things fixed. And you know, it was a tough game, but I mean, talking to the guys, just let them know, like, hey, all we can do is just work. You know what I mean? All the negativity outside of here, like you're gonna hear it. It's gonna be like that, but it doesn't change who we are as people, and doesn't change how things are gonna go around here. We're gonna keep it being the same program, same values, same everything. We're gonna go out here and just work and just be better every single day. So message, I guess, to the defense is support them. You know.
Yeah, support them 100%. Just build confidence. You know what I mean? In situations like that, that's what you need confidence the most. And if you're confident, you'll be able to play a lot better.
Greg, can you talk more about Nick? It seems like he's played pretty well without a lot of recognition so far.
Yeah. I mean, he's extremely athletic. He does the right things all the time. You know, me and him, we've been here for the longest time. You know what I mean? Saw his progression as a player, and I knew it was just time for him to flourish and do well. You know, he's done well throughout these 3 games, and I could see him continue to do these same things. And I think it comes down to him. It's just his willingness to strain every single play,
is a lot different. So I think he's going out there. He's going to continue doing the right things. I really like how he's playing right now. He's playing extremely hard.
Hey, can you confirm this? You said 14 knockdowns in the game?
13 knockdowns.
13. That's
Yeah.
a huge number, is it not?
Yes, that's huge.
Does that surprise people in the offensive lineman room?
Oh, it doesn't surprise us.
Even though it's a big number, though.
That's a big number. Don't surprise us. We see what's going on. We know what's going on. You know, we see him lift in the weight room. You know what I mean? And our mentality every play is that somebody has to be on the ground every single play. Like somebody has to. You know what I mean? He had it 13 times. You know, so.
Bigger challenge this week: the team wearing the blue and gold, or the team wearing the blue and red?
I think it's just challenge for us mainly just based on the fact that there's a lot of noise, outside noise. You know what I mean? That can easily creep in and then separate us. And our biggest thing is you guys stay together more now than ever. You know what I mean? And there's nothing against Kansas or anything, but it's really we got to focus on us and really focus on the things we need to get better in, because we need to play. We're trying to play our perfect game. You know what I mean? Play a perfect game. We have more of a possibility of winning the game.
I mean, they're dealing with the same thing. I mean, they have the same record, so
Yeah.
the same things that you're talking about, they're talking about amongst themselves.
Yeah. I mean, they had some tough games as well, but I think it comes down to who wants to play harder sooner. Like from the first snap, if you want to play more than the other guy, then I guess when it comes down to who's going to win the game. So we have to get our guys ready earlier, sooner, and right from the first snap.
Were you able to take anything and use anything from the game against Kansas a couple of years ago? You mentioned years ago in that turning the season around for the Texas Tech game. Obviously, different roster situation, but
Looking years ago, like I really don't look at that because they're just like us. They've changed around their roster and they have a lot of guys in different positions. Their program has gotten better over the years. So really, it's just thinking about that. Like, I just take it like game by game, year by year. You know what I mean? And they got a good team right now. Like the defensive line is pretty well coached. They play hard and they do a lot of good things well. So I mean, just taking this game and focusing on the opponent we have now. You know what I mean? And they have a top defense. They're gonna have a top defense in our league. So we did take that and look at what they have, and we're gonna look at some film from a couple years ago and fix situational things we need to fix on. But other than that, the personnel, we got to focus on the personnel they have now.
All right, TJ Jackson, how much do you go up against him in practice, and just how have you seen his development since the spring?
TJ, yeah. When he came in, I knew he was gonna be good. You know what I mean? He walks on the field, he just oozes that essence of he's gonna be a good defensive lineman. He went out there, he does pretty well. He's pretty fast with his hands. He's a pretty fast guy. Like he's very nimble. He moves very smooth and seeing his progression. You know what I mean? I think his progression came mainly just a little more mental in the aspect, because I mean from going from Troy to here, like the difference is just the mental speed and the mental aspect. But he's catching up on that, and he's doing pretty well. I knew he's going to do well in that game once he gets the chance to and get a little more snaps. But he's doing pretty good things right now.
Hardest part of center, now that you're there full time, is it the physical stuff or the mental stuff that maybe is more of a challenge that you've had to adjust to?
Right now, I'll say a little more mental. It's just watching a little more film. You know, mainly my job right now is I like to watch a lot more film, and I like to watch film on everybody, because I want to be able to give my outside perspective to everybody else on the offense. I'm like, this guy, these defensive, he likes to do this a lot. You know what I mean? I would look out for that for this week and get that look. And then for the interior guys, I like to tell Jaquay and Tomas, hey, this guy likes to do this guy likes to do that. Just trying to make sure I see the big picture, because I like to look at the big picture of things. So I guess the mental aspect, the physical aspect. I think I've did the necessary things in the weight room for that not to be a struggle for me. I mean, when I think about physical, I'd probably say my body maintenance. I have to make sure my body's up to par the whole time, because I think center's probably more physical out of the positions on the offensive line, because you're in that box the whole time and you're banging from side to side and you're trying to get up to the linebacker. So you're in a tight box 90% of the time. So you're getting banged around a lot. So it's just really got to keep my body maintenance tightened up the whole time, but the physical aspect's really not that much of a struggle for me.
How different is it to be a center and a guard, and how long before you I shouldn't say accepted, but became a center?
The difference, I would say, is very minuscule, because I mean, I talk about that box, but I mean, in the guard, you help out the tackle a lot. You know what I mean? And I think at center, you're helping out somebody, but in situations where it's like odd, you're mainly by yourself a lot. So that's more like you're by yourself, and you get a lot more bigger body guys. So that's more like physical guys. The guys are going to try to get down your face because they're going to try to press the pocket and get to the quarterback. So I really, the thing about center is just knowing sometimes in an odd situation or a bare situation, you're going to be by yourself. And guards, you're helping out a lot, and you do get put in man situations a lot, but I feel like at center, the man situation is a little bit different because guys are just trying to run down your face and press the pocket. For me to really accept the center, I mean, I think any spot that I move to an offensive line, when I move from left tackle to right tackle, right guard, left guard, once I got into that situation, I just accepted it immediately because I can't change the circumstance. I can't change anything else. I'm not going to go to the coach like, hey, please, can you move me back here? I just take what I'm given, and I just want to do the best thing for me and for this team. And if you want me to move to long snapper, I'll go there and be the best long snapper you've ever seen in your life, because that's the mentality that I have. You know what I mean? You want to put me at a wide out, I'll go out there and I give you about maybe 5 touchdowns in the game if you just tell me to go out there and play the best I can play. So that's my mentality. So wherever I go, I'm accepted 100%, and I'm gonna do my best I can do. Yeah. You get me going downfield, I might catch 1 or 2. I'll be out of breath, so it might take me out a little bit out of the game, but yeah, I'll get you something.
You mentioned terrible penalty. Did you guys know right away that you didn't agree with it? Did you see it?
I don't agree with that because I think if I have my hands inside and your momentum's already going downward, I'm not saying that like, this is I'm not saying this is a terrible call on the official. Like the official made a call in the situation, and we got to live with it. Like, you know what I mean. And that call, it changes the play, but it's not going to change the whole game because we had different opportunities in that game to take over the game. So I'm not going to sit here and say that was a bad call on the ref. The ref made a call, and we can't change that now. But for me, in my perspective as offensive lineman, like if I'm able to grab you inside and your momentum's already going down, and then I smack your arms down and you go down and I land on top of you, I don't feel like that's a hold. But, I mean, they're probably taught different things as wherever they do to be a ref. And I really can't get mad at that because we could have changed the situation, you know. It's just really hard to look at that because I feel like that really is as a ref, that swings the momentum in the game, because if we didn't have that penalty, we would have scored, and they would no punt right after that, and that punt would have been blocked. So, I mean, you looking back at it, like hindsight, like you're just like, oh, that could change the game. But in situations like that, like he made the call, and that's just a call we had to take.
I think Neil said iPad sideline. Did you guys look at it too? Have you seen it afterwards and review and just been like?
Yeah. We look at it and we're just we you know what I mean, we look at the iPad, which like, I mean, next play mentality. We had to go out there and we got the score back eventually. We tied it back up after that situation, but it was a huge swing, and we seen it was like, man, that's a killer. You know what I mean?
You ever say Wyatt that mad?
Oh yeah.
He looked like he was steaming. Like,
yeah. I seen Wyatt that mad. Yeah. He gets pretty heated sometimes, but yeah. I see him that mad. I think we was all pretty mad, but, you know, we had to calm White down because we needed him the next play. So, yeah, we couldn't let it stop the whole game.
Brendan, you mentioned being the old guy. You're also the old married guy.
Yeah.
So, last year you had a couple others. What's it like being the married guy now on the team, the old guy now on the team?
It's funny because, I mean, I don't know if we started a trend, but we've seen Wyatt, like he got engaged. We got a couple guys that's on the way. They're not gonna talk about it, but they're on the way. You know, Tomas Remak, I'm putting him on blast. You know, hey man, come on, it's time to lock in. Nick Malone, he's gonna get there too. Jaquay Hubbard, he's gonna get there. So I'm bringing guys along. Yeah, it ain't gonna be just me, but.
If you guys, you find somebody and stick with it.
Yeah, we gotta stick with it. I mean, we don't get too many chances, you know. We don't get too many chances. I mean, they only give us a chance in the wintertime when they need it. We need it the most, you know.
You talk football when you're home, or you just try to get away?
I try to get away. I don't even. Sometimes we watch football. I try not to watch football at all. Even when I go back to visit my family, like they want to talk about the games. I'm like, nah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do something else. I don't like talking about football all day. I mean, when is your job? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't like talking about it all the time. I love football, but when I go home, I don't want to keep talking about it.
Good. All right, thank you very much, Brandon.
All right.